Hello, I am Endlessness and welcome back to Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis, and today I'd like to bring you a guide on the Grastia Path dungeon, which is the second very hard dungeon we currently have, and recommended power is the same as with the La Pena Coast, which is between 197 and 230 to 100,000. However, this dungeon feels so much harder, and it might be just me personally, but I think it's the hardest dungeon we currently have, or had until now. And I'll be very honest, if you feel like it's too hard now, I recommend waiting until we get that level 75 cap increase, which I guess should happen soon, and then you can come back and try again. As for the debuffs, if you look here, ice, fire and lightning potency are all reduced by 50%, so ideally you want to use non-elemental weapons and avoid anything that's elemental, whether it's weapons or materia, just don't use them here. If we go to the boss info, you can already see Astral, Iron Giant, Behemoth, Rufus, Specimen and Poison Dragon, accompanied by those Varhit polices, and also with the random enemy encounters we can also meet those Tripapolises. It's like this dungeon it's terrible experience, and the devs, they just wanted to make us suffer. But yes, the non-elemental weapons are very recommended because all of those bosses, they have no elemental weakness, but also Astral Iron Giant, he resists all elements, but also you want to bring X Sigil, and for the dragon you also need Circle Sigil. But at least for the most enemies you can reduce their physical and magical defense as well as attack. So on Astral Iron Giant, on Behemoth you can reduce his attack, Rufus you can reduce both, and Specimen as well as Dragon. However, as you probably experience, Dragon can poison you and that poison hurts, Specimen as well. However, on one of the trance abilities we can choose poison resistance or immunity, so you don't have to bring poison Esuna. But ideally for this dungeon I would also recommend bring 2 physical DPS characters, because Behemoth physical attacks are effective during alert, which is his sigil phase. Rufus physical attacks are effective against his enemy. Also Specimen physical attacks and multi-target attacks are effective against this enemy, because Specimen spawns 2 of those eye monsters, so that's why multi-target attacks are effective. However, as you can see, this dungeon it's an abomination. But that's not all. We start here, and this is the whole dungeon map. You cannot go any other way. This is the final boss, by the way, so the only way you can go here. And first boss is the Astral Iron Giant. And only then we can choose between 3 bosses where we would like to go next. Here on top is the Specimen. And also here's one of the red chests. But then here you have Rufus, and last is Behemoth. So you can choose which one of those you would like to do first and which one last. But we have 3 chests here. The first one is here. The second one is here. And the last chest, it's not visible because it's a rare item. So you know, that glowing pixel. So you just have to go here, and here at the very end, here will be that one white glowing pixel. And if you go here, here's the last boss, which is the Poison Dragon. However, around this area, you'll meet 3 or 2 Tripapolises, those very annoying enemies. So it won't be that hard. We won't have some tents and some items we can use, so it could be worse, I guess. It's already very, very bad. However, this will be my team. You are very welcome to use any characters you like using. I just personally, I like using those 3 and I always use them. So Zac is always my healer and debuffer, he doesn't change. But also Cloud and Sephiroth, they have both X sigil and Zac has the circle sigil. It's doable with just one circle sigil, so you should be fine in case you want to just equip one sigil. Zac also has two Curas. If you use, for example, Aerith or Matt with that prime number of Fairy Tail, you don't need two of them. So I recommend bringing a Cura Materia for that big single target heal. But I have two debuffing weapons for both magical and physical attack because I am using Sephiroth, who has the Kuja Spirit Blade to reduce that magical and physical attack on enemies. But other than that, like I said, ideally you want to use two physical DPS users. And his standard weapons. So I'm also trying to keep all my characters at around 8,000-9,000 HP. So just to be safe, because at this point in the game, those hard battles, those bosses, they hit hard. So mostly DPS with Shinra Blade, and two of those materials are just stat sticks. Same with Cloud, my normal standard sub weapons for some HP and physical attack and that physical ability potency. And I'll be using Obi-Wan Zidane, which is, you know, Obi-Wan, so it's not really great, but it's my only non-elemental weapon. And also those two are stat sticks. And of course non-elemental limit breaks. So let's go. Alright, like I said, this path is blocked and we can only go forward towards the Astral Iron Giant. And also, it's not ideal because we don't have any random enemy encounter, so we cannot max out our stance. So it will take a while before we can deal the actual DPS. The giant will start charging his attack. I'll just wait a little bit more. Alright. And Cloud will be hit, but it's fine, he's debuffed. And just quickly single target Cura. One more with... Actually, Cloud do this, and I'll switch back to Zac to save the ADB. And whenever you see a giant swing like that, just go back to defense because he hurts a lot. And Sephiroth, debuff him, please. He doesn't attack often, but when he does, it hurts. Actually, I might as well. I know he will attack. Yep. And now I can cure. Another Helm Splitter, so this one will be just on Sephiroth. Oh, he just lost the debuff. And now you have to reduce that physical attack, ideally nullify it. I hope I can get it in time. Oh, barely. That was very close. But I have two of my limit breaks ready. And you want to always at least nullify that attack, because otherwise you may barely survive it. And then you have to still very quickly recover because he will start swinging again. And just to finish him off. Sephiroth, do your thing. Perfect. And now we'll have our 3 trance abilities, and if I remember correctly, we should have the poison resistance. But it's brutal to give us Iron Giant at the very beginning of the dungeon. But yes, you can choose physical attack buff plus 30% if you want. However, I recommend just going with poison resistance so you don't have to bring poison Esuna against those 2 poison bosses. However, if you think the giant was already tough, it's not, because here we should encounter 3 actually enemies, very annoying ones. Yes, those Tripapolises. I just quickly switch to Zack. Dance of Terror, I despise them. Screech. Oh no, I was supposed... No! Oh no, it's going really bad. I misclicked. I meant to heal. Actually, target that one. You want to kill at least one of them to avoid those attacks. Actually, just let them attack anyone they want. That's fine, that's just Zack, he has a lot of HP. And just that Tripapolis is left. Just wait for the Dance of Terror. Yes, it's here. And try to recover from that. But also, on that enemy, what's nice, you can actually build up your limit breaks. That Dance of Despair is very dangerous, so you have to always switch defense against that. Almost there. And we are ready for the next boss, and you can choose between Specimen, Rufus or Behemoth. I think I will go to Specimen first, but also here if you go, there should be this glowing item, one of those rare chests. And I am in danger, I do not have a lot of health. So the first thing I'll do is 3 limit breaks. Just to get him down as much as I can. Yes, then in the next chest, those yellow chests, we will have tent, so then you can recover your HP and everything. But until then, it'll be tough because you have to survive. And now you can break the sigils, or we can just finish him off. Just beware, those eyes, they will explode after some time, so you want to do it as soon as possible. Either break sigils or kill them before they explode, because after a few seconds or 10 seconds they will explode at some point. And they also deal a lot of damage. I would choose this one because Cloud is my main DPS. And here should be tent. No, it's Ether. Did I already collect? Yes, I did collect the tent. And we have 5 power jellies, so you are very welcome to use your supplements, your tents, everything, and you still should be able to get a good score. I will use some items here. This should be fine actually. Yes. And limit. I will actually use Cloud to deal damage for Darkstar, because I am going now to Rufus. Rufus is more annoying than Behemoth, I think, and that's why I would like to get rid of him first. I wonder, should I? No, it will be fine. I will not use any power jelly, but I think that's a good point where you can start using those power jellies if you are struggling. So here, and I'll use cross slash just to eliminate him. If I can, and it wasn't enough, okay, of course. But it'll be fine. Oh, interesting. At least in a different battle, when you kill Darkstar, it triggers Rufus's attack immediately. And, oh, that's great actually. I prefer Zack to be hit because he's tanky and he can take some hits. And two of my DPSs they're fine. But he has fog, so but still fine. I will debuff him. Of course it had to be Zack, the Cloud. And now that's why you want to use those magic counters. Those magic sigils or any attacks, because otherwise Rufus will counter you. It doesn't really hurt, it just in case. And actually I am considering whether I should or should not. Actually I will. It still won't be enough. Rufus is quite tough. Oh, barely. There's 1 pixel left. But yeah, either you just kill him here with your limit breaks, or just normal attacks, or you break those sigils and then you proceed to kill him. And the last one is Behemoth. How do we look? And same thing here. Magic attack plus 10 magic attack, but physical defense decrease, and physical defense plus 60%, and I will take that. Because Behemoth hits a lot, the dragon hits hard, so I prefer that. And here I will actually use Power Jelly on Cloud and Magic Jelly on Sephiroth. Zack deals no damage, so there's no point. At least for them. And yeah, it'll be fine. And first, you cannot reduce his physical or magical defense, but you can reduce his attack. So I recommend doing that right at the very beginning. Actually, wait a little until he starts charging his attack. And now the Primal Roar, so a slow attack. It'll not be ready. I'm just using it to fill my limit bar. As you can see, lowered attack, it doesn't hurt as much as it could. And now alert, so now you want to avoid any magical counters, any magical attacks actually. It doesn't matter if it's sigil or not. But we just want to finish him off. And I think one more. Oh, actually, ooh, we are close. Mainly because I have the X sigil on Sephiroth, which is also magical. So that's why if I would have equipped a physical one, so it would have... I have been very successful with that sigil phase. But Zack doesn't have a sigil, and Sephiroth couldn't use one either. Because if you trigger that counter, then Behemoth does his flare. And it's quite painful, but here also physical attack, physical defense, healing potency, or just big physical attack. And I will actually choose this one, just to be safe. And right here, I will just buff Cloud and Sephiroth. However, don't use your items yet. I mean, don't use your tent or something, because here's that random enemy encounter, and those are, again, those 3 abominations, and that's why you want to avoid this. Please stop. The Dance of Terror. Sephiroth, please live. Leave. And great. And now Sephiroth is dead. It's still fine. But yeah, as you can see, you can die very easily. I didn't hit defense in time. Cloud will get hit, yeah. And Aroga, just defense against that. Oh. But yeah, those 3 together, they hit very hard. Dance of Terror, Shield. And actually, just to save time, because I'm pretty sure we'll get a Mega Elixir, just save it. But yeah, as you can see, I did a mistake and I didn't shield in time, and Sephiroth died so quickly just to random enemies. And it's not very unusual when just those normal enemies, they hit so hard. See, I healed, but he dealt more damage than I could actually heal for. Please stop stunning him. And that should be the last one. So that's fine. And the dragon is last. But yeah, as you can see, you can fail so easily on those. And not at the actual boss. And before I forget, I will use that Mega Elixir to get all the limit breaks and everything. So, like I said, don't be scared of using those items. You'll still get that S+. and ideally you want to deal with those other two with attacks if you can. I will just use my limit breaks on them, but actually Zack's limit break wasn't enough, so it's fine. I just want them gone and not waste time on them. I just want to focus on the boss. Poison streak, but you don't have to worry about that since we are immune to poison. However, Sephiroth, why won't you reduce his physical attack? Now the Crushing Bite always shields when you see those red texts. That means it's a more powerful attack. And now is the barrier. So here, that's why you want to have two sigil. One the X sigil and the circle sigil, because otherwise you will fail this. And now we can recover. Yes. But as you can see, that was very close. But sometimes you have to choose either you want to go safe or risky. And the dragon should be gone now. Yes. So yeah, that was the whole dungeon. Like I said, at least now it is a very tough dungeon. For me, it's the toughest dungeon in the game. And I don't like it at all. And I hope, well, now if I say anything, they will surely give us something worse, right? But yeah, so that's the whole dungeon. It's terrible dungeon, terrible experience, but we have to still get that S+ to get all the crisis medals and especially the crystals. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you next one.